This is my version of a shop dolly. Use it around the shop when you got heavy furniture and stuff you're working on and you want to move it around. There's no convenient way to do it unless you have a dolly. I made it 24 inches wide, so it'll go through a standard door. It's got 1/2 inch plywood on top, 3/4 inch pine boards fastened to the plywood, and then the wheels are set on these two treated 2x4s that are put into the wood from the bottom with bolts. And each of the wheels are rated for 400 pounds. So I got large wheels, a steady, heavy-duty dolly that should last for ever. Well, anyway, if you'd like to see how I built it, stick around, because that's the next thing you're going to see. Good morning. Welcome to another Memphis Monday. I'm on the road. I'm going down to the local tractor supply store and buy some wheels for my next little project. I'm going to build a furniture dolly to move projects around the shop. And I got a bunch of small wheels, but I want to put some big wheels on there. So that, you know, if I need to push this thing across rough terrain or even across the grass, it'll work. And then at the end of the video, should be a short video, and at the end of the video, I'll show you the project, the next restoration project I'll be working on, and why I need the dolly. So let's get to work. Here I is, Tractor Supply. They sell bolts here by the pound. If you're gonna buy bolts, this is the way to do it. Go someplace else and they charge you by the piece, but here they sell them by the pound, so I always stock up. I'm gonna get me some of these 1-inch lag screws to put the wheels on. So let me get a bag of those. While I'm at it, I'm going to get some of these 3/8 inch bolts. They'll fit right in that slot right there. And then they're flat side. These are carriage bolts. They'll lock in that little slot. So I need at least 16, so I'll probably buy twice that many. Buy them by the pound. Well, there's the wheels. And importantly, there are the bolts. I got all those bolts and lag screws, carriage bolts, and those 3/8 inch nuts and washers. I got all that for all those bolts there for $11. I feel like I'm cheating them, but that's how much they cost. Well, we're back at the Ponderosa. I took my big truck, and that white one right there is my little truck. And the restoration project that we're going to be working on after I build this dolly is in that truck there. So let's get these wheels out and get to work. Bring in the wheels. I'll bring in the rest of the wheels and we'll talk about what we're going to build. While I'm coming, after our little trip to the store, I have a problem that way. I'm always, before I do a project, I'm always looking for excuses to go to the store. It's because it's so much fun. But sometimes you got to get to work. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to build a furniture dolly. You can buy a furniture dolly for about 25 bucks. And this one here is probably going to cost about 150 to build or more, because I'm going to make it large and heavy duty. This will be the top board that whatever I'm pushing around will sit on, and I'm going to back it up with these salvaged boards from the Mudroom shoe rack prototype. I'll just connect these boards to this board, and that'll probably give me that'll probably make that about 1.5 inches, maybe, or a little less, but that'll still make it pretty stout. Okay, let's get to work. First thing I'm going to do is size up these boards. Oh, in the store I also said that I'd be putting those 3/8 inch bolts into this slot, but of course I'm not going to do that, because that means the bolts would stick up proud of the surface of the dolly. So the bolts are going to have to go down through this way. That was another misspeak on my part, but you ought to be getting used to that by now. Okay, let's get to work. Okay, what I'm doing here is I'm just marking this wide board so I can rip it, and then it'll be the right length to fit across here. So what I'm doing is I'm just marking the long width here, which is 24 inches. Check that. Yep. And then I'm going to measure here, and this is 5 1/8. So I will rip 5 1/8 inch off this wider board. I want to show you something that's mildly interesting. Remember, I said I wanted 5 1/8 across here, and I do, but I want 5 1/8 to the other side of the saw blade, not this side. So when I measure it, I want the 5 1/8 to end on this side of the saw blade, because remember, I'm cutting this side over here to length, so it'll be 24 from there to this side of the saw blade. I'm going to try gang sawing these things for no good reason. I'm putting a breadboard edge on this thing, gluing it down, and then putting these 1-inch screws through the back to hold these boards against the plywood. That way there'll be no screws showing through the other side. What I'm doing here is I'm attaching the wheels to these cross braces, and then I'll attach the cross braces, I'll bolt the cross braces directly to the base. This will give me lateral support, and it'll also spread the weight out. What I've done is I've run these bolts here up through the 2x4 because they weren't long enough to go all the way through. So let me go ahead and attach these wheels, and we'll keep moving. Okay, here's the system. The wheels are bolted to the 2x4s. The 2x4s are bolted crossways and set in. This is 6.5 inches to here, and so that's another 5 inches there. So that's 10 inches, 10, 11 inches in. So the middle part here won't sag because there's not much room in there. Okay, so I got this side installed. Now let me get over to the other side and install that. Alrighty then, let's get this thing down off the table and give her a test drive. Now that's a dolly. All right, I'm coming. We're around the corner. I'm back by the air compressor. Coming around the corner now. Check out this dolly. And check out this restoration project. Let me take the camera down and take a look at it. This is a chest of drawers. I think it's a Federal Empire period chest of drawers with a built-in jewelry box on top. It's been refinished at least once. The veneer is peeling off. This middle drawer right here was re-veneered at one point, but that's the next restoration project. I don't know if probably take me a couple of episodes to finish it. So there's our next restoration project, and there's our new dolly. All right, thanks for watching, and get excited for next week. Make sure you leave a comment. See you next week.